Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the #1 professional wrestling radio show in Las Vegas. This is the Mark Hoke Show. The Mark Hoke Show. Going bell to bell with the best in professional wrestling news, entertainment, and lots of Sin City surprises from inside the squared circle. Now, let's get to all the exciting pro wrestling action and bring on the host. Here is Mark Hoke.
And good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Mark Hoke Show here on KDAWN 101.5 FM, the talk of Las Vegas. Of course, also streaming worldwide on that Odyssey app. And we're also live streaming for you on YouTube, X, and Facebook. So if you want to check us out there and hop in that chat box and say hi to everybody, you're more than welcome to do so. We'd love to have you interacting with the show. I'm Mark Hoke, and the man messing with his camera.
As always.
Doing his thing. The David difference. What's up, David?
Oh, what a difference a Dave makes. Oh, today's going to be a day.
It is. Yeah, we had a great time at Full Gear last night down in L.A.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, that was a heck of a show yesterday, and we're going to get to talk about that and a whole lot more.
Good morning, everybody.
It's been the morning didn't stop for us, so
Yeah, insane.
yeah.
Well, was it insane? I don't know. Maybe we're just out of touch.
Yeah, but now that's the life of the traveling professional, to say the least.
Amen. Well, I don't know about professional, man.
No, it is what it is.
I'm trying to get adjusted over here.
Yeah, I
like
see
this
that.
lighting. All right, let's just go with it. Welcome. Good morning, everybody. Let's do this thing. It is like 45 minutes sleep in the last 24 hours, so we're going to make the best of it.
45?
Yeah, 45 minutes.
I dropped you off at 4:30.
Yeah, man, I had things to do.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough.
All right.
Well, we also do have a very special guest in studio with us today.
Yes,
I hear there may be a mystery guest coming as well. I think we'll call it mystery guest for a little bit.
Yeah, we got mystery guest,
Yeah.
perhaps.
But we are very excited to have this woman on our show today. She is absolutely killing it up and down the West Coast and the Southwest, just tearing everybody apart.
Indeed.
And, of course, she is the center of attention.
Let's take a look real quick.
Brittnie Brooks, welcome. What's going on? What are you doing? Oh, I'm sorry. You're playing a video. I didn't know you were doing that.
Yeah, we're doing the video.
Oh, wasn't ready for that, but there's a video playing on the live stream right now, so.
That's coming in.
Okay. All right. But, Brittnie, welcome to the show. How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Yeah, good morning. Very happy to have you with us today. Yeah, showing off some gold.
Champion.
You know, I'm about to add a second one today. Second belt tonight, winning the FSW Women's Championship.
You got a huge opportunity tonight going down at FSW Luck of the Draw at Silver Nugget Casino.
Yeah.
It is happening. So tell me about this match you got.
So apparently now it is a fatal 4-way, which I was unaware of. So it's me versus Viva Van versus Rochelle versus Maserati in a 4-way for the FSW Women's Championship. And I don't know, I'm really excited. This is like my second casino show. Okay. I did like a battle royal one at the Silverton one, and it's like my second time at the Silver Nugget because the last time I was there, I had the gauntlet match where I came up short to Viva, but that's not happening tonight. I don't care who wants to add themselves to my match. I'm winning, and I'm walking out with the FSW Women's Championship and adding it to my Dreamwave Women's Championship.
Okay.
Pretty
confident about that. I mean, there are no slouches that you're going up against tonight. Like the nerves kicking in, or how you feeling?
I think the nerves are always going to kick in. I always get so nervous before a match. But it's also like, I know I was born to do this. I know that this is my passion. This is everything I've ever wanted. And it's going to happen. But pushing those nerves aside and making the best of it, that's all I can do. And just walking in with the most confidence possible. Like, I don't underestimate anybody in this match. And I know they're all vicious and they're all so good at what they do. But I'm the center of attention. And when I walk into that room, all eyes are going to be on me. The new FSW Women's Champion, Brittnie Brooks.
Very nice.
Prediction.
getting ready. That's for sure. Brittnie, how did you get into wrestling?
I can't hear you.
Oh, headphones.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. She's a rookie over here.
Wow.
Come on.
Brittnie, how'd you get into wrestling?
I still can't really hear you.
Can you hear him?
It's
No?
very low.
How did you get into wrestling? Was the question.
So as a kid, I watched it all the time. Like, it was about 2011 when I started watching it. And then from there, I just became a huge fan. My brother watched it with me. And then eventually he kind of fell out of it and it became my thing. So I would go to all the shows when I was a kid. Every time they came to Phoenix, I had to go. I was like, I need to go. Like, this is my passion. Like, I need to be there. So then I just started doing it. And then I started training at Arizona Wrestling Federation when I turned about 14 years old. I started in like a kids class. And then I had my first match ever at 15. Won the AWF Women's Championship in my 9th match ever when I was 16.
Damn.
And then ended up tearing my ACL in 2021. And then I came back in December. So it's almost been a year since I came back. And since then, I've been so determined to get everywhere, do every company I can come across, just get my name out there and consistently get better. And that's like what I've been trying to do the past year. And I think it's been working a little bit. I've been making towns, traveling a lot, and having the most fun ever.
Yeah, no, that's dope. And me and Mark, we just got back from LA, and like, but you do, and we're complaining, or at least I'm complaining. You do this like all the time. I was thinking that this morning is like, this is the lifestyle you live, like back and forth, nonstop. Tell me, where does that drive come from?
It's just, I think the passion. Like, when I watched it as a kid, I would have never imagined. Like, I didn't know indie wrestling was a thing. Like, I didn't know there was anything other than WWE. Like, until I was like 15, 16 years old and started training. Like, I think the passion just comes from simply needing to make it. Like, every single part of me needs to make it to WWE, needs to make it to larger audiences, and needs to inspire people, because that's like all I want to do. Like, everybody wrestles for different reasons. Everybody wants to go different places with wrestling, but like, for me, I need to make it, because that's all, like, this is my passion in life. This is literally all I've ever wanted. Like, since I was 5 years old, I knew that I wanted to be a professional wrestler. Now that I'm starting to do that a little bit, like, it's so crazy to me. Like, the hours in the airports, the hours in the car, the hours on planes. Like, I had a 15-hour travel day last week. And it was, like, 15 hours between when I left my house at, like, 11 p.m. and I didn't even make it to New York until, like, 3 p.m. Like, so it was, like, layovers and long plane rides, and it's all worth it, because like the second I'm out there wrestling, I forget all that, and I'm so focused on the match and so focused on getting better and performing well and winning. So that's just, I don't know, it's just passion and drive and need to make it.
What was that like? I know you got a little shot on AEW. What was that like for you?
It was awesome. Like, I had such a good experience there. It was crazy because I went, I think it was 12 or 13 shows in that same building as a kid for WWE, and just being able to wrestle in a building that I spent hundreds of dollars. Like, I would save up my money. Like, I would go to our backyard and pull all the weeds from our rocks and be like, Dad, can you pay me? So then I would have money so I could get tickets for WWE whenever they come. Like, I spent so much money, so much time working to get to that arena. And then now I'm wrestling in it. Like, that was crazy. And there was like a second after I had lost, I looked around and I was like, this is all I've ever wanted. And like, getting a little taste of that has driven me 100 times more. Like, being able to do that once is crazy cool, but I need to get to the point where I'm wrestling in arenas like that every single week. So just like knowing that that's a possibility and seeing that it's attainable, that's like been driving me for the past few months. I'm like, I need to make it so then I can be doing this every single week.
Right. Nah, that's beautiful. Sounds like an obsession. So you're young. You're 19. They say you got to be obsessed to be average. What sets you apart from? I mean, there's a lot of people out there that have the dream, but obviously you're making moves and making strides quickly. What do you think sets you apart and gives you these opportunities?
I think what sets me apart is that same drive. Like, I need this, and I keep saying that, but it's so true. Like, when I will do whatever it takes. And I think that you need to have that, because from an early age, my coach is like, you need to set yourself apart and you need to make it so then people want to book you over somebody else. And like, it gets to that point where it's just, I need this, and I need to make sure that every single thing I'm doing is going to get me to a position where I am getting better and I'm wanting to, like, get all these eyes on me and people are wanting to watch me, wanting to see me. Like, it's a lot because, like, what people don't understand about indie wrestling is, like, I feel like sometimes it's very hard to, like, draw a crowd, right? And, like, I'm just this girl from Arizona, and, like, the fact that people are willing to, like, fly me in and stuff like that just always surprises me because, like, I know how much it costs for flights and all that stuff, but it's just like building that resume and getting the names behind you, followers, getting better just at every step of the way is like so important to me. And I think like what separates me the most is my drive. Like I will do literally whatever it takes to get to where I need to be, whether it's hours in the gym, hours in an airport, long layovers, like it all doesn't matter to me because it's what I love and it's what I want to do. And I wouldn't want to be doing anything else.
That is awesome.
Yeah, that's magical right there.
Yeah, she's fired up today, and of course she's going to be at FSW night at Silver Nugget. So make sure you get down there and check that out.
New champ.
Hey.
There you go. Well, I'll tell you what, let's step back and take a break, and we're going to have more of Brittnie Brooks, plus we're going to kind of tie this in a little bit with some of the stuff that happened at Full Gear last night.
Oh, boy.
Because there was a couple of title changes with the ladies last night.
Oh, yes, there was.
There were. It was, and, you know, I know we were talking a little bit before we got in here about Toni Storm and Julia Hart, of course, both making major changes in themselves to propel themselves to championship levels again. So we're going to take a break and come back with more with Brittnie Brooks, David Difference. I'm Mark Hoke on The Mark Hoke Show. KDAWN 101.5 FM, the talk of Las Vegas, and make sure you join us in that chat box as well. Say hi to everybody on YouTube, X, and Facebook. We will be right back, everyone.
This is the Mark Hoke Show. The Mark Hoke Show. Here again, your host, Mark Hoke.
And we are back on the Mark Hoke Show here on KDAWN 101.5 FM, the talk of Las Vegas, streaming live on that Odyssey app and in our live stream, YouTube, X, and Facebook. I want to say hi to all the people that are in the chat box right now, like Peanut Nerd.
Peanut Nard. That's Peanut Nard. What is that? Who's that?
Hey, he's from AZ. He said he's from AZ.
Okay, that's your people.
You know, that's my people.
Okay.
And Zach Minger, welcome. Thank you for joining us today. We appreciate that. Well, last night, Full Gear, which Dave and I attended all the way through the media scrum.
What a day.
Toni was rambling last night.
Ah, yeah. Toni be going off.
Toni was going off.
Like, settle down, man. I wanted to say, all right, let's wrap this up, Toni. Got things to do.
Yeah, but last night, the two major title changes that took place were both on the women's side. As Toni Storm beat Hikaru Shida to become now the second three-time AEW Women's Champion, and Julia Hart, the young one, managed to win the TBS championship in that three-way match last night, knocking off Chris Statlander and Sky Blue. So we have new champions on the women's side in AEW, and going especially with Julia Hart being so young. She's 22, I believe, Dave?
Oh, yes, she is 22 years old. 22 years old young.
Yeah.
Years old young. Yeah, 19, right? So, yeah. I mean, she's your senior. How'd you feel about that? Does that make an impact on you?
I think it's cool. Like, I love Julia Hart. I think she's so talented, and I think it was so cool that she's finally, she finally won a championship, and it's going to be no different for this young one tonight at FSW, so.
Brittnie Brooks is fired up, everybody, to say the least. But, one thing that struck me when you think about the two women that won last night was they both went through major character changes over the past year or so. Of course, Julia was a cheerleader, rah-rah, sis boom ba.
Yes, sir.
And then she joined the House of Black and went all evil and just absolutely caught fire. And then this Toni Storm change to the timeless Toni Storm gimmick has absolutely propelled her to a new place that I don't think anybody ever thought she'd get. And Brittnie, you and I were talking a little bit about making those kind of changes and trying to decide how you're going to present yourself as a character. And you think about, going from a cheerleader to a crazy witch, and just how all that worked out, and with Toni too. What did you think about those character changes, and how does that affect you as you're moving forward in your career when you see something like that?
I think like character changes are so important because you can't stay the same in anything. Like you always have to amplify, you always have to get better. I feel like I'm definitely still working on like my character and what I want for Brittnie Brooks. It's definitely probably the hardest part of wrestling for me is like determining, getting that charisma and determining what I want people to see and what I want people like not to see from Brittnie. So like, but I think the character changes are so important because like when it comes down to it, like if you keep changing and you keep like making yourself better and adding new edges and adding new things to you, it's only going to make you better. So.
And then when you and I were also talking about, how easy it is to sexualize women in professional wrestling and make characters like that, and trying to maybe find that balance between femininity and, being a pro wrestler and being taken seriously. How tough is that line for you?
For me, it's like not too tough because like when I first started in this, like I always trained with like guys and I always like was taught that toughness. So like I do understand that like you do have to highlight what is good about you. So that's something that like I kind of struggle with a little bit because, I don't want to be over-sexualized because I want people to understand that I want to be taken seriously and I don't want to be seen as something that's just like, let's just use her for the looks, because I want to get better and be good at what I do. So like to me, being a good wrestler is far more important than, like how I look but I do still want to look presentable and look professional. So it's definitely a fine line to like kind of border on.
Yeah, when you look at like fans, I mean, from a female wrestler standpoint, do you see that you get more support from the male fans or the female fans, or is it a mix?
I think my audience is definitely male, like older males, but then also mostly little kids too. Like, okay. So I get those little girls. I mean, I wear those heart-shaped sunglasses out to the ring and put them on a little girl, and that always like helps them, like fall in love with me. Like there's this little girl in Arizona. Her name is Athena. She's so cute. She dressed up as me for Halloween, and that was so cute. And then I was tagged in something earlier, I think last week, of this girl. She has like a ton of my 8x10s on her wall, and I was like, that is so cute. So it's definitely a mix of like older males and then young children.
Okay. Yeah, no, that's dope. So who was your inspiration in the wrestling business coming up?
My biggest inspirations were John Cena and the Bella Twins. So, like, like the Bella Twins really, really, really made me love wrestling and really made me like, hey, I want to do that. It's crazy because last weekend I was on this show called Big Event NY, and they were headlining. It was like a meet and greet thing. They were headlining the show, and I was trying to like go up and meet them and like talk to them, but they were just so busy, and their line was like crazy long. And so I didn't really get a chance to talk to them, but I think it'll happen one day. And like the day that I do get to meet them, I just want to tell them like how much they inspired me and how much I want to give that feeling to other like kids, because they are such a huge reason why I wrestle. And then John Cena too, like he was my first favorite. Like when I first started watching wrestling, like I always liked Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes because that was who my brother liked. Okay. But then John Cena was like my first like, this is mine. Like, I like him. And, like, I would wear all the sweatbands and had the hat and, like, so many of his shirts. And, yeah, I was just obsessed.
Yeah, that's interesting. Do you find that, I mean, because you work with a lot of female talent, that they, like, are more inspired, like a male wrestler versus, like, seeing a woman champion and saying, that's who I want to be or become?
Yeah, definitely. Because, like, my home promotion, AWF, sometimes I'm the only girl on the show, especially when they do, like, these, like, festival shows. So, like, I'm able to resonate so well with, like, the younger crowd because, like, I'm, like, these little girls are seeing a young girl, on the show with all these guys, right? So, like, it definitely does help because I want to be that for them. I want to become, like, their inspiration as the Bella Twins and John Cena were for me.
Yeah, and then, of course, Survivor Series is coming up, too, this coming weekend. And they've got a women's war game match that's going to be pretty wild, I would imagine. It's Damage Control. It's Bayley, Asuka, Io Sky, and Kairi Sane taking on Bianca Belair. Charlotte, Shotzi, and Becky Lynch just got involved in that mess. But of course, so many revolutionary women in that group. I mean, it really has inspired a generation of female wrestlers. And are any of those names? How many of those names resonate with you? And what do you think about that match coming up? Because the ladies got to get a little nasty in there.
That's gonna be crazy. Like I would say the A team of of Charlotte and Becky, and like that team is crazy. So Becky Lynch was also a huge inspiration for me. Like as I was starting to wrestle too, I met her a couple times and I got to like talk to her a little bit. So it was like really special. And then Charlotte's like the best. Like I simply don't like I aspire to be as good as she is at wrestling one day. Like, she's just so talented. So, like, to see, like, her in the women's war game, like, it's going to be such a good match, and I'm so excited to watch it.
Yeah, definitely. Talking about women's war games, what's your strategy going into tonight?
Ooh, my strategy. I mean, since Maserati decided to, like, add herself to our match, I'm just ready to see her and Rochelle kind of implode, because at the end of the day, this is for the championship, and you can have teammates, you can have best friends, but is that really more important than the championship? Because at the end of the day, I'm cool with everybody, but that championship is mine, and it's coming home with me. So, I mean, I'm kind of interested to see if Rochelle and Maserati turn on each other a little bit.
Yeah, Maserati's been known to do her own thing.
Throughout the years.
If I was Rochelle, I would not trust her.
Uh-oh.
You're trying to break that team up. You are being a little devil.
I'm just
Brittnie
here.
Brooks.
I'm just here. It's okay.
We'll find out tonight, 5 p.m.
Yeah.
It's going down Silver Nugget, live on Fight Plus, FSW, Luck of the Draw.
Yeah, and I think it's really interesting when you look at the female talent that is here in Vegas. I mean, just you take those four and it's enough. I mean, what a talented group, including yourself. I mean, I got to see a lot of your work on YouTube and so on, and then saw you live a couple of times, and just that how fast the female talent base is growing here in Las Vegas with that group. Absolutely incredible to see where everybody's headed. And I think a lot of people know Viva's going to be going somewhere sometime soon. And I think all four of you will be at some point.
Aw, thank you so much. I really, really appreciate that.
Yeah, and definitely, so your thoughts, FSW, Zoe Stark, I mean, she's a savage beast.
Yeah, she's good. And that's another one out of Vegas, too, talking about that talent base. She's wrestling Rhea Ripley coming up at Survivor Series as well. Yeah, another Vegas product. So, yeah, it's kind of the place to be.
It is. I was going to say that. Vegas is 100% the place to be. If it were up to me, I'd move here. But, it's hard. But
Nah, it definitely can happen. So what's the talk you go to different independent promotions. Is Vegas the place to be? Like, is that the talk?
Everybody always thinks that where they are is the place to be, to be honest. Everyone's like, oh, my God, you should move to the Midwest. It is really fun in the Midwest. I think wrestling is just so fun everywhere. Something about the West Coast, though, that I notice is, like, our wrestling weekends don't really start until, like, Fridays. But, like, on the East and, like, Midwest, sometimes they start, like, having shows on Wednesdays, Thursdays. So, like, I think it's cooler for that. But definitely, I think Vegas is the place to be.
There we go.
There we go. Yeah, and, so don't forget, guys, if you want to come out, and gals, if you want to come out and see Brittnie tonight, they're going to be at the Silver Nugget at 5 o'clock. FSW Luck of the Draw. Should be a wild, wild evening, to say the least. A lot of great stuff going on. And, by the way, our mystery guest has arrived, but we're not going to put him on just yet.
What?
We're not going to put him on just yet.
Who's here?
I wonder who it is.
I don't know.
There it is. I guess we'll find out soon.
But that mystery guest will also be a part of this FSW fiasco tonight. It's going to be wild.
Is it Maserati?
CM Punk?
No, there's no CM Punk.
I'll drop Maserati right now. She's here.
Oh, wow. I'll get her on the phone. Hang on.
Man.
Okay.
Hang on.
We're going to have another fight in the studio?
Yeah, let's do it, man. Who, me and you?
No.
Oh, that's later. That's the second hour.
It'll be like that Money in the Bank that was during COVID at the WWE headquarters.
What
oh, yeah.
What happened there? What I missed?
They had money
They
in the
fought
bank.
their way through the building.
Oh, yeah.
At Titan Towers.
Yeah, let's do that, man.
Yeah, WWE headquarters got trashed that night.
Good times.
That was ridiculous. But anyway, but yeah, so it's going to be a great night, and we'll look forward to seeing you doing your thing, Brittnie. So, but hey, I want to thank you for coming on the show. We really appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me. I had so much fun.
Yeah, so come on out tonight, FSW.
Yeah. New champ.
Prediction. Spoiler. We'll find out.
All right. So we're going to take another break, and then when we come back, we're going to welcome our mystery guest into the studio as well. And we're going to break down this Full Gear card and a lot of other things that happened. Yeah, no Devil last night.
Yeah, I was surprised about that.
Yeah, no Devil showed up.
We'd see CM Punk.
I think the Devil was there somewhere. We just don't know who he was.
Oh, yeah. MJF. No, not MJF. Adam Cole.
Do you think Cole's the guilty one? Well, we'll talk about that when we come back here on the Mark Hoke Show, here on KDAWN 101.5 FM, the talk of Las Vegas. David Difference, myself, Mark Hoke, and who could it be? Honestly, I'm scared. First time he's been in the studio.
You're always scared, man. You live a fearful life. Brittnie, I appreciate you.
Yeah,
I will see you tonight.
Coming, Brittnie.
Yeah.
All right, we'll stick around, everybody. We'll be right back.
101.5 FM KDAWN. You're listening to the #1 professional wrestling radio show in Vegas, The Mark Hoke Show. The Mark Hoke Show. Now, here again is Mark Hoke.
And we return to the Mark Hoke Show here on KDAWN. It is the best in pro wrestling news and entertainment. Oh, man. Still absorbing everything that happened at Full Gear last night, David Difference.
Yeah, it was a wild night.
That was I have thoughts.
That's new.
I have thoughts on this thing. It was...
Which part?
A lot of it.
Oh, well, break it down. What was interesting?
What was interesting?
Well, we were sitting there. There was about, 40 people that came in at once, and it was all MJF's family there to celebrate from New York. They came out. They said, big family celebration.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
They were all distraught when he got sent to the hospital. A lot of them didn't watch wrestling, so they were like, I hope he's all right. I think he'll be fine.
Yeah, he's good. He's good.
Yeah.
But, MJF escaped both matches last night. But, it was funny, though. I was actually reading some of the reviews coming in on the championship match with Jay White. And I got to tell you, there were people that were not happy with that match.
In what regards?
Called it overbooked and also thought it really hurt Jay White because...
I was thinking that too.
So to set that scenario up from last night, MJF was defending the Ring of Honor World Tag Team Championships, teamed with Samoa Joe in place of Adam Cole, and taking on the Guns. They win the match, but then the Guns, Samoa Joe hightailed it, and the Guns jumped MJF because, of course, he's wrestling for the World Championship later the night. They're part of the Bullet Club, and, of course, taking on Jay White. So they get a chair out, and they're crushing his knee, and then they put the chair around his knee and jumped off the top rope, did the whole thing, and MJF got carted off in an ambulance. Adam Cole steps in, and even though Adam Cole is still in a walking boot and crutches, offered to defend the championship for MJF, so he did not forfeit it.
That's a friend right there. I was going to ask Toni, is this you just make your rules as you go, or is this an official thing?
Yeah, it's kind of interesting that
you wrestle for me tonight for the title.
Yeah, that's actually another quandary now that you think about it. But then they get to the match. Adam Cole comes out, and then MJF comes rolling up in the ambulance, leg wrapped, knee wrapped. He's a mess. He can barely walk. But then he was kind of doing some things that he shouldn't have been able to do, and which some people complained about. And then, Jay White lost the match to a half crippled MJF.
Yeah,
and a lot of people were saying, that wasn't cool to do that to Jay White because, it makes him look bad that he couldn't even beat a half hobbled MJF.
Yeah, well, that's interesting because I was thinking that as the match was going, it was like, where's this guy go from here? He just got beat up by crippled, It didn't make no sense. I mean, it made sense, but that's not good for where he's going next.
I mean, overall, I thought the match was good. I mean, the crowd was going nuts. That was a great crowd in L.A. last night.
They were packed, man. It was far different from the Vegas crowd we have. I mean, Vegas was good, but out in that building, the acoustics in that place was different, man.
Yeah, it was. And, I was up in Seattle, too, and, the noise, I think was the L.A. crowd was a little more intense than it was in Seattle, that's for sure.
Yeah, you get.
I mean, they were.
It's a different crowd, different people, different vibe.
Yeah,
LA something else, man.
Yeah.
Speaking of,
yeah, it was definitely a different vibe, that's for sure. But yeah, but MJF does escape with his titles, and we got to hear him crying when he came into the scrum.
Yeah, he was in tears, man.
He was in tears, man. He was in pain and
eating pickles,
emotional. Lots of pickles flying around. We should get some of those pickles.
I don't know about that. I'm gonna stay away from pickles. Leave that to you, Mark. Pickle man over there. Yeah, it was an interesting show to say the least. But obviously, that Swerve match of the night, in my opinion. I know you said it was too much, too gory, too bloody, but that was a beautiful thing, man.
And I think that might be a good time to bring in our guest.
Is that the segue? Get him in here.
Let's segue him in here. Because I'm really excited to have this gentleman back on the show, but now we've got him in the studio. Let's say hi to the No Limits Poppy, shall we? Danny Limelight. There he is. Danny Limelight joining us here on the show. He's in town for FSW today, too, bud. What's up?
I'm in town to become the FSW heavyweight champion. That's why I'm in town. What's up, Mark Hoke, Dave Difference? How y'all doing?
Yes, sir. Living the dream, man. Living the dream. Good to see you here, live in the studio, huh?
It was good to be here in the Mark Hoke show right here with the little banner, the studio stuff set up. It looks good in here. It feels cozy.
Definitely.
Yeah, it's well decorated, isn't it?
It is. I got my pretty face back there.
Danny, do you know that it's funny because
he just put that up. He just put that up.
Slide the mic over. You covering my face, Dave.
Okay.
There
it is.
Yeah.
Look at that, Poppy.
Yeah, it's funny. We didn't know Danny was going to be on the show until I guess he popped us a message. Just what? An hour ago?
Yeah, a little bit less than an hour ago. I was in Wisconsin last night in Ironheart Pro, defending the United Wrestling Network World Heavyweight Championship, going on almost 365 days as champion. And then I hopped on a plane all the way to Las Vegas, Nevada, because we have FSW Luck of the Draw tonight. And I'm on my way to get my hands on Selena, and I said, I'm here early. I want to go to the studio. I want to come see Mark Hoke.
There it is.
Well, we're very happy to have you here. But, yeah, those pictures up there, I kind of redid the studio in here, and there's Sergeant Slaughter, Jimmy Hart, and right in the middle of them is Danny Limelight.
It's like if you fuse Sergeant Slaughter with Jimmy Hart together, you get me, I guess.
Yeah, kind of.
I was a real drill instructor, though. And then, Jimmy Hart, the mouth of the South. You got, I'm just the mouth all over the place. And you just, boom, there's Poppy. It works, Mark. I'll give you 2 points for that.
Yeah, so he's in kind of our Hall of Fame up there. We got both Cages on the other side here, and then we got Brooks Robinson up too. But, yeah, Brian Cage and Christian Cage.
I see it.
Yeah. So Danny, you're in elite company, my friend.
You know what? I try to stay in elite company.
He's an elite guy, man.
I'm an elite guy.
There you go. So tonight,
I'm elite, bruv.
Yeah.
Isn't that the new? That's the new. I'm elite, bruv.
Yeah.
Shout out to Will Ospreay. Y'all were talking about the pay-per-view last night.
Yeah.
Shout out to my boy Ospreay.
Yeah, that was big. So tonight you got an opportunity, FSW Heavyweight Championship on the line. What is 30-man Battle Royal, Rumble style? Are you ready? Well, I know you're ready for this, but what's your strategy going into this, man?
Oh, because I was going to take this time to tell you on live radio what my strategy is so everyone that's entering the Rumble can know, right?
Well, maybe throw them off a bit or something.
Man, look, I'm going to put a banana peel on the ramp or something like that. Is that what you're expecting to hear? I'm going to have the Wild Coyote. What's his name? What was the Coyote's name?
Wile E. Coyote.
Yeah, that dude. I'm going to have him set up C4 and dynamite all over the place.
There's Acme. Yeah.
Nah,
okay.
Look, man, I'm entering number one. It's the luck of the draw. I made my debut at FSW in this Rumble a few years back. Now I'm coming back, entering at number one, numero UNO.
Are you number one?
I'm number one. I announced it. I called my shot like Babe Ruth.
Okay.
I'm going to come in. I'm going to throw bozo after bozo after bozo over the top. It doesn't matter who come down the ring. Dave, you could enter the Rumble, and I'm going to throw you over the top.
I thought
Now,
it was people,
you could bring
man.
Mark Hoke, too. I lift Mark Hoke on my shoulders just like this and toss old Jolly St. Nick over the top.
I'd pay to see that. Yeah.
Maybe I should enter the Rumble.
Yeah, you should, if that's what's going to happen.
Yeah, you should come on down. Come on now. Come see Poppy. Come into the bodega. Come on, Mark.
Yeah.
I'm going to throw you and Hammerstone's ugly self over the top. Together, both of you, one by the ear.
Wow.
Jesus.
No one's getting in the way. It doesn't matter who comes through that room. Brittnie Brooks, who was just here, this young prodigy, the young star in the making, she could win the FSW Women's Championship, then enter the Rumble, and I'll throw her over the top, too.
Jeez. Well, I mean, you're definitely, like we talked about earlier last week, you are built different. You're going in number one.
Yes.
This is a hell of a match. Then, let's say when you win this, right?
Okay.
Then you have a championship match. That's a tall order, man.
Look, first of all, shout-outs to Ice. He's been champion going on how long now? Almost 365, right?
Oh, yeah.
Almost 365. He was the No Limits champion for 500-plus days, right? He actually has a victory over me in FSW before, so I'm going to give the man his flowers. However, the Danny Limelight that Ice Williams faced 2 years ago is not the Danny Limelight today. I'm built different, Dave. You know that firsthand. I've been everywhere, all over, wrestled the best wrestlers in the world, came back, spun the block. I'm here. I want the FSW Heavyweight Championship. So after I get through 30 dudes, Ice is going to slip and slide his way all the way to the ring. He's going to hop in, do his little thing that he does, take off his stupid furry coat, and then I'm going to choke him out, put him to sleep, and then that's a wrap. Then I got Selena in my hands, the FSW Heavyweight Championship. I'm going to tell Joe DeFalco he better have the penthouse suite reserved for me, and we're going to party all night, Dave. You invited. Mark, you're not invited, Mark.
Wow. I like that. All right, cool.
You know, now I wasn't going to say what I was going to say. Now I'm going to say, what happens if you run into Bodie Young Prodigy?
Oh, boy. Throwing shade over here, man.
Listen, Brody Young Prodigy. First of all, he got his hands full tonight with Action Jackson.
Yeah.
For the No Limits Championship. You know, Bodie beat me by luck, but I would not take away from Bodie's talent. The kid is, 12 years old now?
Yeah.
You know, almost about to hit puberty. He's climbing the ranks. I think his mom finally cut the umbilical cord, let him go. You know, if Bodie Young Prodigy just so happens to, all three of those little brats, Brody, Brittnie, and Matt Vandergriff will come out together holding hands, eating Sour Patch Kids, and I'm going to whoop all three of them and send them to the nursery room.
Damn.
Wow.
All right. Well, he coming with that heat tonight, huh?
Mic on, safety off, always.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to this, man. So, if you walk out of here, FSW Heavyweight Championship.
When I walk out of here,
when you
FSW
walk out of
Heavyweight
here
Champion.
tonight, where are we partying at, man? Where's it going down at?
Dre's. And you know what? I'm going to have Ice sneak us in the back door after that.
Wow.
All right, take his belt and get him.
And party in the VIP section with his belt.
There
And
you
have
go.
him stand in front of the table while I party and celebrate all night. Mark, you still not invited, Mark.
Damn.
Oh, well, I'm sorry.
Yeah, Mark. Well, we had quite the night. So last night, yesterday was like a 24-hour day, right, in kicking. And I was talking to Brittnie about it. It's like, you guys do this all the time, like nonstop, go, come back, go again. Like, what is there a regimen or some preparation you got to do to keep going?
Honestly, man, I spend a lot of time sleeping on airplanes. So I'll give you an example. Friday, I had Friendsgiving, had mi gente come through. We ate good. I went to bed about 2 o'clock in the morning. Had to be at the airport at 6 a.m. So I got about 4 hours of sleep, if that. Maybe 3, because I had to get up and get to the airport. Flew all the way to Wisconsin. Actually, MSP, so they flew me into Minneapolis. Got to the hotel, checked in, brushed my teeth again. Took an Uber all the way to the venue in Wisconsin. It was a 30-minute ride to Hudson, Wisconsin. Wrestled there, defended the UWN World Heavyweight Championship against Garrison Creed. Big dude, strong dude. Wasn't good enough. Went back to my hotel, ordered food. By the time I was in bed, it was 1:30 in the morning almost, and I had to be at the airport at 4:30 to fly all the way to Vegas. So I had about 3 hours of sleep again. I landed in Vegas, and then I showed up here to the Mark Hoke Show, kicked the door down. Mark, I'm here. Put me on, And it's one of those things where it's finding meals when you can, finding sleep when you can, still getting time to hit the gym. You know, Dave, you know I'm a full-time student on top of that. Full-time, you know, full-time student. I'm a dad. You know, I got a lot of things that I got my hands in the pockets. I'm working on my film right now as well. So when it comes to this traveling and being on the road and just doing the wrestling grind, it's finding when you can eat, when you can rest, when you can sleep. You know, going to the chiropractors, going to those physical sports therapists and stuff like that. Getting, you know, I like to get cupping done on my body, have somebody rub it out, pause, and just really just take the time to recover. Because a lot of the time we're on the road, you know, you sleeping on planes and sitting on planes and changing time zones back and forth. That does a number on your body. Anybody who's traveling a lot, anybody who's in the business knows that the travel and all that is just as demanding as the job, you know. So it's taking it all in. And honestly, man, though, like a lot of people, you know, on their bucket list, they say they want to travel, right? When I grow up, I want to travel. I want to see the world. I'm fortunate enough that I get to do that while doing something that I love, you know, on someone else's dollar. I don't buy my flights. I don't buy my hotels. The promotions do. So I get to see all these new cities and states on someone else's dollar. So it's a benefit, it's a luxury, but also it's very demanding on the job. And now here I am on 3.5, 4 hours of sleep, getting ready to wrestle 30 dudes and then Ice Williams for the FSW Heavyweight Championship. You know, it comes with it. It's what we signed up for. There's no complaining, but you know, I like it and I don't like it sometimes.
Well, you handle it well, man, like a professional over there.
Well, that's what he does. He's dating Limelight.
Oh, now don't get on
Mark
the
wants
team
to get
now.
invited.
Yeah,
Mark wants to get invited.
Now you want to get on the squad again.
I put his picture on the wall. Come on.
You just put that
He
up
paid
this
double
morning.
for it.
Oh, man.
I'm just messing with you, Mark.
It's all good. Well, hey, we have to take a break and come back for a second hour of the show, so we're going to have Danny sitting in with us. And just a lot to take in from Full Gear, and we need to get through that. And a couple other things going on in the world of wrestling, too, including, that Hammerstone guy got his release.
Hammerstone. I got a bone to pick with him today.
Yeah, we'll see. All right, so stick around, everybody. We've got a whole lot more on the Mark Hoke Show here on KDAWN 101.5 FM, the talk of Las Vegas. Best in pro wrestling news and entertainment. Give us a follow. Just look up the Mark Hoke Show, whatever social media app you want to use, and join us, like us, whatever you want to do. We'll see you on the other side of the break. Stick around, everybody. Want more of The Mark Hoke Show? Follow us on Twitter at Mark Hoke Show, like us on Facebook at The Mark Hoke Show, and visit markhokeshow.com to keep up with everything happening with the show. And remember to check out all of our archive shows on YouTube at The Mark Hoke Show and download our podcasts at markhokeshow.podbean.com and all your favorite podcast outlets. So join The Mark Hoke Show family today, and thanks for listening.